We're going to get, if it's Tuche and Jason's kid, yeah. I mean, they'll either get it into baby water, baby sloshy baby food, or massage.
Yeah.
They'll do something with it.
Yeah.
Emily, do you like my broadcast studio?
Yeah. It's I like it.
You're in Hawaii, right?
I'm on Kauai. If you go to my Facebook page, you'll see the sunrise. And Ken Newbill joined in this morning's live stream from the beach.
Oh, wow. Awesome. I'm going to actually have the opportunity to go visit Ken because he's in just a few hours away from me in North Carolina.
As we speak, or will he just happen to be there?
No, he lives there, and Chitta wants to make it happen because Chitta's going to move.
Yay! Love the sound of that. Okay.
So does the name Atreya ring a bell?
Atreya does ring a bell. And
with long hair?
And Maitreya.
That with long hair who sings a song called Ohana?
Ohana?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what Ohana means in Hawaiian?
Something good.
Family.
Family, okay.
When we talk about our brothers and sisters here, I don't mean the water brothers, but the brothers and sisters refer to each other as Ohana or community or tribe, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So over here on this screen is the invisible Kathy from Australia. She's doing black screen today. You guys got, how much time you guys have to hang?
An hour. It's good.
An hour is good. All right. Did you bring refreshments?
Yep.
You'd expect my daughter to have.
I have a good story, quick thing. I got my dental cleaning today and I refused to get x-rays. But it's like it feels good when they scrape the shit off of your teeth, and I realized that I want to start swishing more aged in my mouth, because I haven't really been doing that. I haven't been able to collect as much age as I like because I live in different environments. So
no, it is conducive to the sacred practice that you have.
Yep.
Very much so. So we're going to start off some quick announcements, and then we can get further into, we'll do a communion, and then we'll go into the lifestyle. Now, typically, I've done 39 or 40 of the World Urine Therapy Conference calls. And then I started getting new names for things. So this is now currently being called the Shivambhu Wellness Lifestyle Store, Shivambhu Lifestyle Call. And the classes that I've been teaching used to be called urine therapy training calls. They're now called urine therapy mastery courses. So we're all doing bump ups. Very exciting. So the one thing I'm going to announce at Shivambhu Superstore is up and running. Let me put in some links for the people who are going to get on here. Oh, yeah. SHIVALIFESTYLE.com. That's the Shiva Lifestyle Store. And I'm excited because the P Sport, we sold 8 bottles in the first month. So you've seen this, Daniel? This is the P Sport. You could collapse it, or you could extend it, lift the top, and collect, guys and girls. Right? And then when you want to drink it, you unscrew the top, you're good to go. This came from our buddies from back east. They decided that my idea, I have this way of pitching people and proposing collaborations, and they decided to give it a yes, even though the Hideaway company didn't see the vision. Because they have videos where guys are standing in the gymnasium and someone taps them on the shoulder and they turn around, they got the pee cup at their zipper. Oh, I thought this was okay to do this here. Lots of fun. So we've got the lifestyle store. The newsletter for March is up on the ShivaLifestyle.com site. At least once, but maybe twice, we've got Chitta singing "I'm a Pee Drinking Man." I know he's on the back there, and anything that Emily wants to send this way, we'll use the content. Same with you, Daniel. We're always looking for content for upcoming editions because we're already planning April, May, June, and so forth.
Yeah, relatively recently, I wrote a variation of a certain hymn. Way more closer walk with we.
It is.
To the tune of just a closer walk with thee. So.
Has everybody got their speakers up as loud as they can, or is it just my end?
It's probably me. Am I quiet?
Oh, you're not known for being quiet.
Yeah,
Like Emily, she puts on the exterior. She's just this calm, very feminine woman, and she meditates, but she can kick ass. She can come out and, and move
Shida
mountains.
usually refers that my aura is like a steel tank. So.
And sometimes you need
I
that.
guess I'm not always exactly known for being quiet.
I'm definitely not known for being quiet. So those are pretty much announcements. There's another training course coming up March the 2nd, March 26th through April the 9th. And we got all kinds of things that I've been working on. You'll hear about in the upcoming weeks and months. A lot of exciting stuff. I just joined forces with Viktoras Kavinskas and his business partner, 40 years. We're launching an enzyme company together. So you'll hear about that. And I've been sharing some people have been asking me about complementary modalities to urine therapy. And so every now and then I let people know about Masterpiece, Remag, Zen Cleanse, this, that, and the other thing. So if you hear me say it, it's because everybody's at a different place in their healing, their cleansing, their purification, and they all have the opportunity to pick from a different menu. So that's why we're doing that. All right. And that's enough for the announcements. Emily, would you be nice enough? No, you don't want to do a prayer? You could do a prayer. You could do a chant. You could lead us in a chant.
Nah.
Yeah, okay. Daniel, would you like to share a prayer? Thank you.
Yeah, I can do that. So, Heavenly Father, also known as Dad, thanks for this water, sacred water. It's such a gift. And thanks for helping me to realize that it's not a dirty waste product, it's the water of life. It's been such a paradigm shift, and I pray personally for people that just, they are where I used to be. They get so shocked and horrified when I bring this up and they tell me not to talk about it, but help these people to realize that the world needs it, Gaza needs it, Rafah, Palestine, Yemen, Sudan, anywhere, Haiti, all these places in the world where they think they don't have access to clean water, they do. It's in them. And help them to get it and bless our time as we celebrate the water of life and knowing that we are the master of all that we do and all that we are. And yeah, I love what John Robbins has prayed. Let all be fed, may all be healed, and may all be loved. Amen.
Amen. Have you ever heard the expression Zindabad? Zindabad Shivambhu.
No.
It means long live Shivambhu.
Zindabad.
Zindabad. I
Yeah.
learned it from one of my Shivambhu gurus, Indira Gupta. She would say, the way to really do understand reality is to think from top down. Because we end up thinking from our small view and our small perspective of who we are to spread out to the big picture of why we're here and how important and how valuable our journey is. So we're going to talk about protocols today. We're going to talk about the lifestyle today. We're going to talk about why Shivambhu works for some people And how dare Brother Sage say that, and why it doesn't work for other people. You never thought I was going to say that, would you? Well, here's simple. If you tell people to just drink it and you don't look at their lifestyle and don't help them to arrange and fine tune their diet, their exercise, their emotional well-being, their spiritual practices, their relationships, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, it's going to be a slow, progressive hit or miss with the changes. All right, I've been teaching holistic health for years and years, and I still add the same approach to doing urine therapy. Get as close as you can to food that has enzymes, chlorophyll, minerals, life force, and water. And where does that take you? Plant food, fruit, greens, sprouts, living food. I know there's a lot of people in this community that are kicking and screaming and going, I don't want to give up meat. I don't want to give up dairy. I don't want to give up my glutes and my carbs and da 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 da. I'm going, that's your choice. But if you're paying attention to your body, it'll try to hint at you. Stop eating that crap. Make some changes. So Shivambhu is a personal journey. It's a personal medicine. It's a personal savior. It's a personal liberator. The more you can spend time getting to know it, you'll get to know you. I like to say that the body, when it's reading the plasma as it's going through the kidneys to identify any contaminants or threats, while it's making antibodies and remedies and putting together this incredible mix, it's giving you the best of you so that when you return it to you, you get to experience the best of you. Metaphors are fun in this family. So, is there any protocol in your lifestyle? Well, let me ask you another way. Have you put together a lifestyle that makes you feel better every day, stronger, able to cope with whatever comes up for you? Would you say you have a functional working lifestyle for you, anybody?
Yeah, but I mean, of course, I need to continue to improve on it. But I mean, one thing I can say that I'm really thankful for to Orin Therapy for, it's helped me realize that I don't want to eat dairy. I don't want to eat cheese, cow milk cheese. I mean, when I eaten a lot of that, I was starting to notice a strange flavor, and I didn't know where it was coming from, and I realized it was the cheese.
Mm-hmm.
So today, when I ate pizza, it was with my kind of cheese, which is non-dairy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that to me is a huge win.
Mm-hmm.
Because I already knew I didn't want cheese. It's just that pushed me over the edge. That was the clincher. You know, I was able to make my break with cheese for good. So even if it's offered, I won't eat it. So I think that's one huge win there. And so even a heads up to anyone who's watching this, I mean, of course, go ahead and drink it, but if you are drinking animals and animal products, as Brother Sage said, it's not going to help the taste. And that's your body telling you, why are you eating this?
Mm-hmm. Has either one of you experimented with at least a one-day Shivambhu fast?
Oh yeah. And when you do, it does get to taste like coconut water.
And have you noticed that somewhere near 3/4 of the day, you got to try this, Emily, somewhere around 3, 4, 5 in the afternoon, it dawns on you, you didn't think about food all day. Which means you have an opportunity for at least a one-day fast to break from food slavery, food dogma, food neurosis, food addiction, food nonsense. Come to find out what your body's able to do in its own, with its own power.
I will say that fasting has always been a challenge for me. And I mean, when I first got into drinking pee, I was actually had to mix, like, dilute the pee in my smoothies or my juices. And I was very big onto eating like raw foods back then. And right now I'm still on cooked foods, and that's because my partner is really good at cooking.
Yeah,
But also just
that's tempting, ain't it? He's
I
jumping.
mean, he talks about, like, even if we soak our pee, there he is. He's back.
Speaking of you, Chitta, Go
when you
ahead,
soak
Em.
in it.
Daniel, it is so amazing to see you, brother. How are you?
Great, likewise. Long time
Uh,
no see.
I'm right here for the cheers, aren't I?
Yeah, let Emily continue what she's sharing.
Shoot.
It happens all the time. I love him. Very
Oh.
special person right there. Okay, so when Matt talks about soaking in the pee, it's pulling out like lymph and stuff, but also it's just, I remember I was in there for like an hour and a half or 2 hours, and I never felt hungry during that time because you're just preoccupied. I think a lot of people who get a food urge or addiction, it comes from boredom.
Oh
Or
yeah.
just you don't know how to deal with emotions, you don't know how to deal with trauma, so you just like stuff yourself with food. And I'm even right now, I'm in college and they're teaching us in these classes, like they're teaching us to supplement with things or eliminate something, but no, they're just doing it all wrong, and I'm angry about it because I have to listen to it. It's like I don't want to be the type of person where I'm talking back to my instructors, my teachers, and
Well, I'm gonna get a picture. I'm gonna get a picture of you guys, and then everybody on the side in the screens.
I just like saw the camera. That's it. That's all. So soak in your pee.
Soak it up. Soak it up.
Yeah, I mean, is feet good enough, Emily? Just foot soaks. You gotta
Oh,
put your
yeah, foot soaks are great. I haven't done one in a long time, but they are great. And I mean, one thing I learned from Brother Sage is he was saying, it alchemizes whatever it touches. So if you need to mix your Oran with tap water, you can. So that means
Oh,
you can make a hot bath out of it, which is great.
yes.
One less fear factor out of the equation, the better. If you need to warm up your evolved or your fresh, your orange, before you stick that tube up your bum and you have to use hot water from the tap, do it. If you're in a bath and you do not have 8 to 10 gallons of stored orange to make a full tub, mix it, heat it, whatever, it's going to transform it anyway.
How do you separate
Who's talking?
pee from
Whoa,
tap water?
whoa,
It's hard
something
to.
happened there,
We keep
Matt.
on adding
You
to
were-
it.
I mean,
Yeah,
whoa.
really, for the bath, you kind of have to, right?
You're breaking up.
You're breaking out. Should I start over? What was your question? We had feedback. And now people.
You guys continue.
Yeah, he's
Emily,
gonna be back on.
Emily, hey, sweetie, we're the only ones in motion. Has everybody got frozen by the air?
Daniel's good. We're good.
Yeah.
Daniel, move. Don't freak me out. Okay.
Yeah,
Something is
they're
going.
they're ready to attack us again.
Yeah, but yeah, it is pretty good and see, that's the other thing. If I do a bath like that where it's mixed, I always rinse with fresh, like straight fresh. I don't want, the last thing on my skin is gonna be the full on stuff with no tap water in it whatsoever.
Yep.
And so that's one thing I know is that when all is said and done, I'm coming out of that tub, just the fresh stuff. And I use it cold, so that can be my cold rinse at the end too, which I know does you good.
Have you
And
noticed,
everyone-
Daniel? Daniel, have you noticed? Here comes Chitta for round 3. Have you noticed that every time you put it and massage it into your hair, it gets darker?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is, for me, once I've used it, it does go down the drain. Cause
Oh,
it
yeah.
has to. Cause
Yeah.
I've been getting complaints about smell anyway, but I've been doing what I can to mitigate that by, like the last bath I had, I had the window open and a fan blowing out the window. Cause I don't like when I get complaints that it's stinking up the rest of the house. So,
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be in good terms with your housemates.
oh, I mean, like,
Find a partner who will help you not have to hide your stuff.
oh, I agree with that. When I get there, that will be a blessing. I thank you for reminding me that that's possible. Cause, you know, I'm totally believing for that to be a total celebration, right? It's just, you're both, you know, you're both in other words, you're in, you know? So that's a play on words, right? You're
Yeah.
in.
You're in good company with the right
I
partnership.
guess you could say, you're
You're
in.
in love. You're in love. I
You're
love
in, you're
that.
in. So
Yes.
I mean,
So
I
that,
totally agree with that, like, I know that it's been suggested. Cause I mean, I'm looking forward to getting married, but I've also been told that could be a bit of a deal breaker. But I say, that's gonna be my ticket. I turn that around, I say, that's my ticket, that's my fountain of youth. That's what has allowed me to be, not just look young, although I wanna look young, I wanna be young, not just look it. And I'm gonna have to stay young and be young in that, that's where hormone therapy is such a win. It's like your fountain of youth, which, you know, I mean, I don't know how anybody lives without it. So for anyone watching this video, if you've been living without it, I don't know how you've been doing it, but don't live without it, live with it. I've done
So
it both
lost.
ways. Most of my life I lived without it, thought it was unthinkable. But you know, here's a funny little story. Just from when I was 26, I was having a bath and somehow through I don't know how it even happened, but I did find myself with a mouth full of, I mean, back then I would have called it urine, and I was horrified. I spit it out. I was kind of roaring. I was just, you know, sort of beside myself with horror, just thinking, how did this just happen? Totally oblivious to the fact that years later, I would be doing that by choice. But also, I saw this one movie called The Lost Boys, I think. It was about maybe some people from the Sudan, where they get in a situation where they have nothing else to drink. So this guy whizzes in a pot and then he drinks some and he said, my name is so-and-so and I do not wish to die. So that's another thing I love about hormone therapy is, I mean, that's one thing that's a known thing is, right, you get into a survival situation, well, then maybe you might do that, but you're making all sorts of faces and saying, oh, I can't believe I'm having to do this. So when, again, anyone watching this video, you get hit to what we're doing here, you get in a survival situation, you're already set. And that's what I hate to think about in Gaza. Are people wasting their orin right now? They can't be doing that. They have empty containers. I've seen them. Fill them up and drink them, people. You need that stuff. Don't throw, and by the way, how much disease is it causing when they put it into the ground too? So you drink it, you're putting less into the ground, you're preventing disease. It's just a win-win all around. And you can do that anywhere in the Gaza Strip, right? Because if you're dependent on the food, well, the food shows up, they might shoot you and bomb you because they're being nincompoops. But if you know how to drink water from your own cistern, rivers of water from your own well, you can do that anywhere in that strip.
we're going to take back our power in the same strategy that Gandhi used when he marched all these people down to the sea to collect sea salt so they could have their own salt without government control. We're going to have everybody go down the river and pee in a jar and take back our power.
Yeah.
Screw
Oh,
you.
I've been telling
We've
people
got our
over and over that we need to drink our own orin in solidarity with Gaza right now. And people think, you know, people don't necessarily get it, but I'm going, people get it. We need
okay, pack up. We're going to Palestine.
Yeah.
We're going to let some people.
But also, you know how in a swimming pool, everybody swims in a certain direction. It's called a whirlpool, right? You get the current going in a certain way, and then you declare a change of direction. So then when you turn around and start swimming the other way, you're swimming against the current, and it's a strong current. But I have recorded a video saying we need to reverse the whirlpool here. Everybody thinks it's the dirty waste product. No. Other way. You know, healing water from within.
Well, Daniel, the paradigm shift has been moving steadily forward to tip it all over. We're at the tipping point right now in our history.
Yeah.
You can see it with urine. You can see it with the whistleblowers. You can see it with the truthers. You can see it with people are waking up all over the place. And we're moving to a point where you can, it'll be normal to say, I drink my pee. Doesn't everybody? We're getting
yeah, amen to that. We need that.
I'd like to connect the previous two statements. So, like right now, urine is a charged subject, whether, and it always has been, I guess, more or less. It's like body fluids, ooh, right?
Mhm.
And the charge is spinning in the direction of its toxic and a waste product, but there's still the charge. It's like urine, whether you're into it or not, it's charged, and we're gonna spin it the other way, and it's the same energy either time, right? The charge. So, but when it gets just chill, I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, where it's like we're not taking that kind of disgust and turning it into like, oh my God, this is the best thing since sliced bread, which is, my first couple of years of experience with it is exactly that.
Right.
Now it's like turning into like, a lifestyle and like a norm. And it's not scary to raise my vibration this way anymore. There's very much more of a comfort when it's in the realm of like the vocabulary Sage just shared. It doesn't everybody. Like it's totally possible to get us there, and that's where we be headed.
Yeah.
Well, what's been really helpful, Emily, I'll be right with you. What's been really helpful is the fake-demic that came about in 2020, because a lot of eyes were waking up to find out that the medical cartel was a fraud. It wasn't for the betterment of humanity. And so people were looking to alternatives, and here comes Shivambhu on their radar, and they're going, well, it sounds bizarre, but I'll try anything. And people's minds are starting to stretch to include this water.
Yeah. All the fear porn without many answers, and all that negativity, leading to people being open to things they haven't tried before.
Yeah. Okay, let's hear from Emily first, Daniel.
I was just gonna say that I like how I've been actually like seeing, because I kind of grew up with TV, right? With my generation. So I see so many, like, what's the word? Like just people making fun of urine drinking, or not urine drinking, but just like using pee as a joke in shows. And I even like have a few clips that I saved when I notice it. But I'm like, you know what? I think that in a way, when Sage talks about like joking around with it, it's almost like giving it a lightheartedness, because it's still getting downloaded into their consciousness or whatever, still getting like translated to them in some form.
Mm-hmm.
Yet now I'm realizing, oh, I was growing up with these different shows and programming, and I was looking at it, or I didn't even hear it at all. I'd never thought anything of it. And when I look back at that, I'm like, oh shit, they were talking about this the whole time. So
yeah, in the midst of all the television programming, truth sneaks out. It's the same with the Bible. Truth sneaks out of the Bible. People didn't see that, but now everybody's like Daniel. Everyone's giving quotes from the Bible and going, it's in there. The Christians missed it. It's right there in their book. All right. So the same thing is happening in television and in movies. I started collecting clips of well-known celebrities like Brad Pitt in the Fight Club, where he says, urine, it's sterile. You can drink it. Right. And there's this movie called Waterworld with Kevin Costner, and he's out in the middle of the ocean, and he's got a device. He pees into it and he purifies it and he drinks it. He can throw the machine away, but he does that for the sake of the movie. And there's more and more clips of actors and celebrities. We probably got a Monty Python routine going somewhere.
It's in Dune. It's just the still suit. They don't make a big deal about it, but the still suit takes all of the water, including sweat, that the body produces and turns it into potable water. That's in Dune, Dune 2 just came out.
Is this like the second or the third version?
The second.
Well, in the first version, there's a guy who wakes up and he makes a statement. He says, the sleeper has awoken. That kind of sounds like Neo becoming the one, us waking the F up.
I was just, you downloaded that to my subconscious mind thing. But yeah, like in the beginning, Daniel wants to say something quick, but like
Yeah, I do.
in the beginning of the Matrix, then they like are hibernating in this amniotic fluid like thing, but that's another.
We'll get to that. Let's hear from Daniel. Thanks, Em.
Hey, Matt, when you were talking, I thought of something. Okay, so anyone watching this video, Orin therapy is every bit as good as it is at first shocking. So let me repeat that. Orin therapy is every bit as good as it is at first shocking. So I get the fact that at first you're in shock, you're in disbelief, you can't believe you're hearing this, and you think it can't be right, but it's every bit as good as it is at first shocking. You're put off at first, you think it can't be right. Well, now it can't be wrong. It can't be wrong. You can't lose. Okay. Like that's where I just, and by the way, I also
That's what I
shared
was
a video.
saying. That's what I was saying. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I also shared a video by John Turmel, PP Power to Poor People. Have you seen that one, Brother Sage?
I have not only seen it, but I interviewed him about
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it might still be in my YouTube channel, but I
Okay.
find it for you.
Oh, I would love to see that. That's awesome.
You guys know who John Turmel is out there in
Yeah, he's
Canada?
the leader of the Abolitionist Party of Canada.
He's been known as the smartest man in Canada.
Oh, and he has the world record for the number of elections run in. I think he's at 106 now.
Mm-hmm. There's also a video, and this is what inspired me to reach out to him. He has his back to the camera. This is a live show, and he's collecting his Orin while on camera, turns around and drinks, and he says, this is no different than what you guys could do at home, but I'm just going to show you how it's all about. And it was like the closest you saw someone urinating in front of a camera. So that was kind of gutsy on his part.
Yeah, like he refers to that video. I've never seen that original video he was referring to, but in PB Power to Poor People, he refers back to that video. But he reads a letter, and maybe it's from a certain book called It Could Save Your Life. But I thought it was so good what he read. It was just so great. It's like, wow. You know, if anyone wants to get sold on Orin therapy, just listen to that letter he reads.
Yeah, and gentlemen like him, like John Turmel, he's got a very wide audience. So having somebody here as an associate or colleague in this cause, in this movement, is a blessing for all of us.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what his nickname for Orin is?
What?
Kidney milk.
Kidney milk, I like it. Yeah, let's bring him back again. That might be awesome. Hey, has anybody heard from Monica Schuett? Is she in hiding?
You know, I found her video where she shows how Madonna drinks her own Orin.
Yeah, but how recent is that? A lot of people
Oh,
read.
that's yeah. I haven't really heard from her, but
Neither have I, and we got close to setting up an interview, but it fell through. She ends up moving like from Costa Rica to South America to Germany, and her and her husband kept moving.
yeah. If anybody would be in touch with her though, it would be 2J though. Because I am in touch with 2J on Instagram.
Right. I've got Tucci's cell number if I need to call her.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both in the design world. That's the reason for that.
Oh, she
You know, they yeah, I mean, shoot. I act like I know exactly what these girls' careers are. I did it one time. I love these women. But I know that they're both in design. I believe Tucci's in fashion. And yeah, aren't they both in fashion? Maybe Tucci was doing home design.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just thought that was
whatever she's doing,
Mm-hmm.
it, you know. Talk about saleswomen for Orin therapy. Like how is every guy not already into Orin therapy? Maybe they haven't seen those women. It's like, check them out, guys. Come on. What?
That's why I'm here. Except I'm in love with
No, you're a good saleswoman for it by all means. No two ways about that.
Yeah, thank you, Emily.
style. I think that was my point. Is that these design women have style.
Oh, like
all UT women have style.
sure.
They do in their own style. Yeah, we definitely could use some more female role models for the movement.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I actually discovered, like, Monica Shoot was interviewing with 2J, and I'm looking at it going, oh man, not that I wasn't already sold, but if I wasn't, I would be now.
Every now and then you meet some gals in this community that make doing urine sexy.
Oh.
And
You know,
And that's the thing, like, and if there's anything that's just so attractive, it's just, they are just so cheerful and joyful, and it's just everything you could ever want in a person, like.
brings the life in us.
keep that in your heart, because there's going to be such a soul who's going to meet up with you.
Oh, and
And
you know, I need all the favor I can get. I need you to believe with me for absolute favor, because I know who I need. I know who I need. I just need to find favor with the right people, which includes her and two other key people, if that makes any sense. I know I'm being kind of vague, but that's for a reason. But yeah, let's just say, I've done everything I can from my end, and now the ball's kind of in their court and in hers too, and it just, but I mean, back, like, I haven't seen her in such a long time, and back then I didn't know a thing about Orin therapy, so when I get the chance, I'm gonna, I look forward to telling her I don't just practice Orin therapy, I do it with attitude, so, you know,
it's your
and
lifestyle.
I'm gonna.
It's your lifestyle. And this is one of the main reasons I started naming this the Shivambhu Wellness Lifestyle call, because if any of you guys have been following me, I live and breathe this stuff. It's in my car, it's in my backpack, it's in my bathroom, wherever I go. You never know if there's somebody you meet out in the public that has a cut, a scratch, faints, and you just run and you grab your oar and you bring them back to life. You're carrying first aid material for both you and anyone else. So I have built in, and I keep one of these in the bathroom. So when you're taking a shower or bath, you can either spray it on or take off the top and snort and drip and dribble and massage. And, you can knock out 6 or 7 protocols while you're in the bathroom.
You know, it was sobering though, because I was at the Woodstock Fruit Festival, in Miami, Florida. And, I mean, I learned about it from 2J. But it was sobering to realize that when it comes to Orin therapy, I mean, people know about it, but they don't necessarily believe in it yet. So, I would say, I don't know if this is a plan or not, but they do it once a year, and next year I'm thinking maybe we should, like, all go. And, so I'm not the only guy there preaching Orin therapy, because I was the only one that was into it. The only thing is, this one guy, he was a flat earther, but when it came to Orin therapy, he didn't really know, but then he did say, wait, actually, I think I would be on board with topical use as opposed to drinking it. I'm going, well, hey, it's good for topical. It's not just good for topical, but it is great for topical. So
it's great for topical, and after they've applied it a couple of times, you want to remind them that they actually they did drink it. Sure. Because it delivers it to the blood. I mean, what people don't realize is that right before it becomes Orin and it goes through the filtration system, it was blood somewhere else in your body, including your tongue. So you already have urine in your tongue. You already have plasma in your tongue. You have it in every part of you. Well, by the way, something that is happening behind the scenes of some of the people I'm collaborating is I met this man who has a very successful publishing company. I might have told some of you guys about it. And he's got all the PDFs. He's got the PDFs of the manual. He's got the PDF of the Healing Water 2nd edition. And he's about, on his own dollar, he's going to produce a whole bunch of copies for the movement of my books. And we're going to get it out to the teachers in the Water Family Directory. I asked him, can I just decide who I want? I want certain people that I know and love to get these free copies of my books. And he says, well, I would like to hand pick them. I said, who am I to pee on the gift? You're like, go ahead, run with it. So that could happen any day. That'll start distributing books across the country, as well as put them in those free library kiosks in front of buildings and neighborhoods.
That's awesome. That's awesome. When I got the manual in my hands, that was really nice. You know, just for my process.
Mm-hmm. Well, go ahead, Emily.
I'm just itching to talk
Are you
today.
pointing
Wow.
to the heavens? Are you pointing to the heavens?
Yeah. Um, oh God, now I lost it. It's okay. Um, oh yeah. So going back to like relationship dynamics, I remember I was with a partner for a bit of time, and I mean, I was starting to get into urine therapy at that point. And I mean, my ex, he was like seeing the benefits. He even uses the pee to water his weed plants. And they're like massive now. So he sees the benefits of it, you know? But I think personal wise, like you got to do it for you because I got into it for me for whatever reason. I don't even have a reason why I did it. I just wanted to do it in some sense. And I think people, if you know the benefits, like Daniel was saying, you could see it and just not really recognize what it means for you at that point. So it's like, that's why I'm not about trying to convince someone when maybe they're not ready to get it into it yet. But I'm going to be there to guide them on how to know what they can do with it in the meantime, like how to stick your finger in it. Yeah, I feel good.
Yeah, well, you're doing an awesome job, Em. You plant the seed, and what they're looking for two things. It's not so much that you educate them. It's not so much that you can bombard them with books and information. First thing they want to know is that you care more than you know shit. They want to know that you care about them. You're really sincere. And this is the reason you felt that you reached out to them because you got tired of watching them suffer. You want to give them this option, right? And the second thing is they're going to be keeping a close eye on you to see if you ever get sick. They want to see if it's working for you. So as we practice and practice and practice and we walk the talk, interest is going to grow in the circles of people you're introducing it to. Emily, you don't age. Are you on drugs? How do you do this? How do you keep going?
Who do you know that gets you the drugs they don't tell us about?
They won't. They won't. Someone was asking me the other day about, well, what if so-and-so I get a UTI, and what if they discover some kind of disease in my urine? And I hope you guys understood my answer to this. This is where the doctors have their hands tied. All they do is look to isolate an ingredient, and then they build a theory, a hypothesis, a diagnosis around this isolated nutrient, aluminum, graphene, glyphosate, whatever it is. But what they never do, because that's their limited parameters, that's all they're looking for. Let's identify it. Well, what they're not doing is taking consideration that it's mixed with 5,660 plus ingredients that have already been sterilized, upgraded, transformed, and that they're not looking to determine if it's healthy or harmful. Because if they did, it would out them as liars about our water. So they stick to, oh, it's an isolated, you have aluminum in your urine. And this freaks out people without realizing it.
I love it when Sage,
You have
you go there.
aluminum?
I love it when you speak that powerfully, brother. Because you still remain calm, still breathe. If I say stuff like that, it sounds angry at this stage of my life. But that was very powerfully put nonetheless, you know.
Mahalo, mahalo. So one thing if you haven't been practicing talking to newbies, get in some practice talking to newbies just to see if it flutters you, see if it throws you off, see if you get defensive, see if you're in attack mode. Because when people come up and say it's a waste product, right? First thing I would ask them is, where'd you get that idea from? Did you make that up, or did somebody convince you? Because nobody does research. This is a problem with our woke mortals on the planet, is they just follow the program. They don't dig any deeper. But we have. So we found out that there's a gem that's hiding inside our urethra and our bladder, and it's the salvation of ourselves. Daughter M, go ahead. Urine therapy. Urine therapy.
So look,
Awesome.
it's
Yeah.
it's you can read it, right?
Oh yeah.
So funny enough, it's just like there was a meme I saw on Instagram, and that's even how I discovered urine therapy to begin with,
Oh
basically.
really? Is that what it
Yeah,
said?
from
You're in
Instagram, from
therapy
social
or
media.
you're in therapy, eh?
But basically, like I was talking with my friend, and I kept on repeating urine therapy. Like I was like, I'm practicing urine therapy. I'm doing good with it. And then she's like, wait, you are in therapy? Like she wasn't hearing it, wasn't registering,
Right.
and she knew that I do this, and I'm like, Teresa, I drink my pee. It's urine. And she's like, are you in therapy? But anyways, that was just a cute thing. Need to
Oh
share.
yeah.
Thank
That's
you.
that's
Now,
classic.
there are some people in the community who they get polarized by words. This is why I changed the expression aged urine to evolving urine. And some people, if they say urine therapy, they may get it, they may not get it. So we have to phrase it in such a way that they'll hear it. So you're doing a great job.
A lot of people in our age range choose therapy. I think it's kind of in vogue.
The word therapy, it's not a polarizing word because some people are suggesting.
I mean the expensive activity. Just a thought. You know, I think it's rather popular these days as opposed to how it was in the past. I really think therapy. I mean, they've got these like online cheap therapies now. That's a big example. Or I mean, talk therapy. That's what it is. Like being in therapy, right? So it's just, I think I like that because you know, I'm not the biggest fan of talk therapy.
I'm not either, but it seems that there was a time in the 80s where it was a big movement. It became really popular for people to take self-help groups and self-improvement courses and
Oh
meet
yeah.
the latest health guru and this or that, right? And their egos were flaring and going, oh, I'm in therapy. I'm getting better. Look, I'm taking care of myself. And you're going, you don't know shit.
Right. Yeah.
You can just do like the subtle like this.
Yeah, very subtle. Oh, did you notice there's something in my eye? Yeah, up there.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's
He does
That's what you
it,
see. Hey, look,
he does it better than me. Fuck.
look really close. Do you see anybody who gives a shit? There.
Ah.
Yes, I meant it with sincerity and compassion, of course.
God, I wish I was an actor. I just can't do it.
You are an actor.
I like your origin story there, honey.
Thanks.
That'd be a great title for a book, that expression.
Hey, look, you know what? I want to make a musical one day, and Matt's going to help me get there because he has life experience with that. So God gave him the ability to give him musical theater. Anyways, we're going to make it into urine therapy.
Yeah, and yeah, the title is a long one, and it has to be urine therapy, and then cross that out with a line, and then it's the right urine therapy.
That'll work.
Yeah.
But it's just shorter. You just call it urine therapy. How would we phrase it? Urine therapy.
You do the pronouns like urine or your, I don't know. That's funny.
Yeah, well, yeah, I used
Okay.
to actually give it that nickname of you're in therapy, right? That's what I
Yeah.
would call it, and then kind of let them, and then I'll call it orin therapy, and then somebody would say, he's talking about urine.
So we got to sneak it in there somehow.
That was good. I just imagine you, Daniel, imagine you saying urine therapy, and then we have one of our techie friends do it in slow-mo, where you can hear him go, urine therapy.
But also like, okay, like I respect what Emily was saying, but is that how you spell your name or did I say it wrong? Okay.
Yep.
So you were saying, I don't rush people into it. I let them discover it on their own time. Normally I would, people, again, if you're watching this, normally I would give as much time as I can, but we're in a situation where people need to know about this, and they've been in that situation for a long time. How many people in this world think they don't have access to clean water, okay?
A lot.
So we reverse the whirlpool. So this is a world where everybody knows they have access to clean water. How many lives are we gonna save? So what are we waiting for? What's the holdup? Like, people, I took a while. You don't have to take any time, right? You can get in, you can say, I'm in, and then I'll say, you're in, all right.
So that's the paradigm shift, because
Yeah,
notice how many years that they showed the rescue missions of dropping 50-pound bags of rice in third world countries and coming down with these big helicopters and dropping what they called food and canned goods and stuff. Just tell people about their water, right? You could use all that energy and money to ship all this stuff for some other cause, or give people a new house
right.
versus.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, it's
you
just
are.
such an
You
empowering
already
thing,
know.
so I would say the sooner we all get on board, the more lives we're gonna save, so I encourage you, people, don't waste time, you know? If it takes you a while to get on board, whatever, I guess take as much time as you need, but like, cut that time down, okay? We've already done the work, we've done the pioneering work, we know it's good, go for it, right? Like, um,
Great pep
it's
talk.
not what you think it is. And watch that video by John Turmel, PP, Power of Poor People. It's such a great explanation.
Yeah, great description.
Yeah.
I mean, just basically, it's all just for show philanthropy. They're not trying to go for solutions, and I know y'all know this, but it's like the fact that urine therapy works is like really reveals that. It
Mhm.
really does. And
Mhm.
it's such a dark conversation because not only are they virtue signaling so that you pay your taxes and be a happy voting citizen, they're like actively poisoning the third world. They're
Mhm.
not just, you know, not they're not just doing those for ads in the first world. They are actually sending them stuff like ivermectin, which is poison, and they put like millions and billions, millions at least, large sums to get that. And there's no diagnosis criteria. They just spread it all over Africa. You think that's because they're trying to take care of the third world?
Mhm.
They're spending millions up to billions? No. So it's like, you know, we got a really bad situation here in terms of philanthropy. It's been used for uh, control, you know, virtue signaling and genocide for like easily since Andrew Carnegie and the Gospel of Wealth in the late 1800s, where it
Well,
really explicitly laid out that ideology.
And there's that saying, teach a man to do what? Not fish, not catch dead fish and kill them and eat them. No, teach a man to drink his own water. How about that? Teach a
how
man to
about
drink
that?
his own
Right.
jolly water.
Then he'll
Okay?
he'll have all the water he needs, and he won't have to go fishing. He can keep
Right.
this going.
Yeah, I mean, um, it's just, cause I mean, there is a charity that I do appreciate called Charity Water, but I think his name is Scott Harrington, but one of these days I wanna send him a message saying, did you know about hormone therapy? Cause like, I know what you're trying to do, but you tell people that they have access to clean water, and let me just say, you just solved a whole lot of problems.
So there's new protocols that are coming over my desk. Some of you guys have heard me talk about it. Some people are trying out that double magnetic vortex device where you pour water through the device into another bottle and then it spins it and it
Yeah.
the magnetism of it. Um, has anybody tried that or heard of that with the
Yeah, I
urine?
tried with Matthew Hazen. He had it, and yeah, so it's two bottles. You fill up one with water, and it's got magnets in the middle.
Mhm.
And so what you do is you flip it over, and then you just give it a couple of rotations,
Mhm.
and it starts spinning, and then that goes and spit vortexes down through the magnets. And I haven't found a water structuring device that really simply uses magnets in a powerful way uh, at the center of a vortex.
Mhm.
That's just a good idea, you know, like that's not messing with nature, that's using magnetism and vortex. It's like I'm not sure we can find a better model. And so I'm very excited about that. When I tried it at Matt's place and I could tell it was high quality, I usually use the Analemma one.
You tried it with Oren?
No, I've
Yeah,
tried the Analemma go on with Orin all the time.
Mhm.
It makes it smoother, and more hydrating and wonderful. I love the animal oil.
Wonderful. So all these different helpful devices that are out there. There it is. There it is. Wave it, wave it. Oh, look at it. She's showing the bubble.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not into absolutes, like, the charity that is giving water to people, like that's a good charity,
Oh, yeah.
sure. But I'm talking millions, billions, national advertisement type stuff is usually like corporations covering their ass. And then it's like, is all tech wrong, or is all things you can buy wrong? No, I don't think that at all. I just think we gotta follow the real science. I know that sounds sketch, but what's the real science? All science has been a lie so far. Actually, it's not true. We
Right.
know why urine is good, and there's some scientific statements we can make about it, especially anything having to do with describing what plasma is and all the other contexts we find it. It's a life-saving plasma. That is a common understanding in medicine, actually. And organic, mineral, colloidal, bioavailable life mineral water, basically.
Structure.
And then the structuring devices. It's like, are these a scam? Are we trying to improve urine?
Well, I would like the guys who are doing the dark cell microscopy to give us more research into what they're finding inside of their urine. We do have Fiona Gardner who's doing the messages as urine. And if we could get a voice like Dr. Young, who starts talking about urine therapy more, Dr. Group has done his fair share, as did Jonathan Otto. But we're bringing on the board all these big doctor names. So it's really helping people get educated and get the word out.
But by the way, whatever came of that woman's PhD in Orin therapy?
Which woman?
Somewhere in Canada, she was doing her
It
doctorate.
wasn't it Darlene was doing
That's
that?
Darlene. No, Megan McDonald.
No.
Megan McDonald, that sounds about right.
Megan out in BC area. Yeah, she's collaborating with me. We set up with Jonathan Otto and Dr. Group. They're funding the project.
Okay.
So we just got to get Megan to approach. It started off with Wake Forest, and now she's thinking it might be a university in Canada. But in either case, we're waiting for her to do the next move.
You know,
She's still working on it, eh?
Yep.
Great. By the way, did you see that experiment 2J did with various types of water with an ORP meter to see what's aging and what isn't?
No, what's it determining?
She measured distilled water and found that it was aging. And then tap water, it was really aging, and et cetera, and et cetera. And then she measured Orin, and I'm sure you can guess what the result of that was.
Okay, when you say aging, what does that mean in this context?
What, I don't know if it's a negative or positive ORP, but one is aging and one is anti-aging. And the Orin came out anti-aging hands down, and I'm sure we already knew that, but now we can really know it.
Yeah, it's the overall charge. Yeah, and the body is got a net negative, and I think this is cooler than pH. Although keeping your body in the proper pH is a very important and separate discussion. It's got its own merit, but the charge thing I'm really thrilled about, and one of the things I love about
that
that
is so valuable because you know about Kangen,
Yes.
and their Enagic and their Kangen water machine.
Yes.
You can pay over $5,000 for a machine that makes water into anti-aging water.
Yes.
So the fact that you have anti-aging water coming right out of you, like, come on, people, that is so. Because I mean, at one point I thought I would get me one of those, but I'm sure glad I didn't. I just have a distiller. And by the way, one thing I'll say is, my dad was offering me some of my own distilled water, and I didn't want it. He says, "Man, you distill it, but you don't drink it." And I didn't say anything, but I guess I didn't have to, because I mean, I already had my water. I know what I drink. But that machine is for them. They want to drink distilled water from a machine. They could do even better, but I guess they're still, thinking the way I used to think. But yeah, definitely
Well, I'm thrilled about this water. I'm so thrilled about this water. I could just pee on myself. I'm so excited about this water because of all the supplements that are going around right now, and everybody's following, the latest nutritional gurus. We won't mention artists or group or anybody. We're not going to mention the latest formulators that are pitching their product that's going to save people from this and save people from that, right? You never run out, and you don't have to think about, oh, I need to get another month's supply. I got to reorder. No, you just stand there and collect, or sit there and collect. You're done.
Yeah.
You don't
and
have
you're
to. You don't have to be on auto ship, and you don't have to have a subscription. You just know, okay, another 2 hours, I got more coming.
And see, and not only do you not run out, if there's anything you run out of, it can be containers.
Yeah, that happened. You do.
Yeah,
In
no,
fact, if you get in the
That's
habit
funny.
of collecting it, you do run out of containers fast.
Oh my God, that's so true. Because every time I pass garage sales and I'll go, oh, you got a gallon ball jar with a lid? I'll take 4, thank you. And I'd go to thrift shops and garage sales and start bringing them home.
Like, if there's anything I'll use the toilet drain or the tub drain for, it's just getting rid of what I no longer need. If you tried to save it all, you would never be able to contain it.
Matt
So
Sen has done it.
Like, after a while, you just realize I'm into overflow. So again, speaking of quoting Bible verses, my cup runneth over.
It's absolute abundance. Emily, what would you say, Emily, to the people say, I don't seem to be able to collect my orange because I use it all day long? You got any suggestions so people would learn how to use a little, save more, use more, and work it out so they have supply?
I mean, Matt, he found like this really good 7-gallon
Container.
tub container, and it took you like, I don't know, a few months to collect when you're just collecting by yourself, and then we started combining our own. We had to get like 4 more containers.
I was in collection mode because I thought I was making a forever tub with that supply. Didn't turn out to be the case. Had to bathe in it and let it go. But the answer to Sage's question has got to be just drink more distilled water, and there you go, you'll pee more. But also,
Yeah,
you can drink pee
mindful.
to pee more. You pee more when you drink your pee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Diuretic.
It's sort of like your body is making water, but people would assume it's your body letting go of water that it was using for inflammation purposes prior to it coming.
Is the question, what if you run out of orange?
No, the original question was about how can people store it when they say they can't figure out or fit in to store it. I'd say we just got to be mindful to start saving and collecting. Don't drink every bit of it unless you're fasting or looping.
Oh, I get the question.
If you drink everything you pass, you are in for major enemas.
Without putting anything up there.
Like, there's your enema.
Oh.
I have never injected it in. I've never had to. I just chug and like whoosh, fire hose, Daniel. Like, here we go.
Yeah,
so like,
It's
like,
a laxative.
you won't be able to drink it all. You'll either have the option of storing it, which I do, or if you want to just waste it, I just say, why would you waste it though? Like, and with me, I let it go down that toilet drain after I'm done my bath, so that's
yeah, I take a bath with it. Exactly. I got the aquatainer there and I just fill it up and then I take a bath if I'm and then what I do is I'll save the stuff at the very bottom of the container, which is closest to the sediment, and I'll save the sediment and then I'll let a batch age on top of a sediment that I've collected. I feel like that holds an energetic frequency of my body's healing processes.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I've got like age that's on top of a thick layer of sediment. So I'll save that for special aging purposes.
Okay.
And then I'll bathe in the rest. Yeah. exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a situation where like, I mean, I'm using fresh, it's just fresh, you know, the longer I wait to take that bath, the more it might be an issue with smell, and I really just do what I can to be conscious, and like I was saying before, last bath, it had the window open and the fan blowing out the window, cause I get so tired of, you know, it was just humbling, the second last bath, my mom didn't even say anything, she just lit some candles and opened the window downstairs, but I couldn't get the window open in that washroom, and it was a lot of work to get it open, but now it does slide up and down. So,
Is this to accommodate housemates?
oh yeah, yeah, parents, but I mean, my brother never complained, but my parents have. And I just, you know, I wanna do what I can to just not, you know, like, make the house smell like a stink bomb, so.
Well, what some people do is they have essential oil in their bathroom. And I found that if I just do drops along the inside of the bathtub around the door entranceways, it smells like the essential oil and not urine.
Okay. Yeah, and
Man,
I've also,
talent.
another thing I do is put, baking soda and vinegar down the drain after the bath, so. I think that helps.
Sure, yeah, yeah.
So you
I
can,
mean, the only other option to avoid stench is, especially the ammonia variety, right? Is to let it air out. I do believe that does work, but that means that it's always at a lower level, but it's always smelling, but at a lower level. If you keep it all locked up, it really has a smell to it when you open it back up.
Yeah, you're talking about you screw the cap on?
Yeah, I mean, if you could let it outside and you put cheesecloth over it with a rubber band so that it's breathing, it will smell less bad in general.
Mhm.
But if you do that process inside the house, you'll stink up the house constantly. You see?
Which is not a bad thing if it's just you.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, no, I think it does like to breathe, and it actually like does something with that. Seems to
Well,
Yeah,
me.
I mean, I know Brother Sage had said if you put it in a container and just lightly screw the lid on, then,
Oh,
and that's
that's a
what I
great
would
idea.
do.
Yeah, perfect. I hadn't even thought of that.
Well,
Yeah.
the other idea is you take your container and then you get a lid that's oversized. Just get an
Yeah.
oversized lid top.
Oh, sure.
But even if you just lightly screw it, so it's not tight at all, it's just a little bit before being at all tight,
So it
I
breathes.
would say that gives it breathing room.
Okay.
'Cause
Wonderful.
yeah, it used to really stink when I screwed the lid on tight.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool. Thanks.
Have you ever gone down to the woods, the forest, or the beach with a jar of your holy water and gave yourself a massage and lay down and just soaked up the sun, whether people were watching or not?
You know, I grew up next to the beach, brother, but I never practiced urine therapy unless I was visiting my folks next to a beach. Although I did in New York, I was just such a snob. I mean, I lived in New York City. It's just like I was such a snob for like my most amazing beach that I grew up next to, where beach volleyball was invented. I never went to those beaches in New York.
I don't want to go, dude. Fuck that. I grew up on Long Island and it was gross. Ugh, smelled bad too. But yeah.
We drove, me and somebody else drove to a beach somewhere, but it was some, I think it was Long Island. I forget. It was packed. I remember. Anyway, you're the local.
I'm the
People on from Jersey, there's a lot of water family in Jersey, like Elijah
It's
Barber.
true.
He's
Yeah.
always like goes on the cons like Jersey City, baby.
That's the way to go. By the way, I've got something.
I gotta make
I would love
territory.
people to take the torch from me.
What?
I'm about to show you the torch so that
Dude,
your generation can take the torch and take the message out to the public. I use this in Boulder behind a table. I still have it, and I'll ship it to anybody. We can create it as a loaner. You can take this out into the world. It's 3 feet long, and it says urine therapy does the body good. It has grommets on all 4 corners. If you ever want to borrow it, let me know.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. Maybe I'll send this video to my friend Brian, who lives here in Manitoba.
There you go.
Because I brought it up with a group of people at this Church of God, and they're like, the funny thing is, it's like, they're like a variation of the Amish, man.
Oh wait, what do they call it? You said variation on Amish?
Yeah, they're basically a variation of the Amish.
And what's the group name?
The Church of God Restoration.
Oh,
Are
cool.
they practicing UT?
Let's just say, when they caught on to the fact that I had been talking to people there about urine therapy.
Oh yeah.
Like, let's just say they said, we don't want that here for obvious reasons. So like, it's just funny, because at first I was preaching flat earth. I realized I didn't like flat earth, so then I went and found allegedly Dave,
Oh, yeah.
and he allowed me. I mean, he had this one video called Jesus Exposed, which helped me, but then also he helped me to really go from just drinking orange to preaching it, So then I went back out to that church thinking, okay, you don't want to hear about flat earth? I got something else for you.
Add it to the mix.
And so, but this one family, this one guy, he was cutting my hair really short. You may remember I used to have hair so short, but they were open-minded when it comes to oral therapy. Like, I guess she's got a French background, which probably helps, because she was saying she knows that it's a known thing among certain romantic couples where they practice golden showers, for example, So, but that was a real godsend, because it just bought me some time. It allowed me to plant the seed, and now that it's been planted, let's just say, because I remember one time, I mean, I wasn't, talking about flat earth. I thought about it. I actually flipped a card. In fact, a card from Brother Sage, which says urine therapy, it does the body good. I flipped it to see whether I should talk to this woman about it. The answer was no, so I didn't talk about that. But I didn't get very far with the flat earth stuff, so I was a little frustrated, and I went to my jacket and I was pulling out the cup, and I was kind of exhausted, and I saw these girls just looking right at me. And then I went into the washroom, and this one boy kind of followed me in there, and then when I came out of there, he saw the cup, and he said, "What are you drinking out of that cup?" And I said, "Are you drinking coffee?" And I said, "No, I do a whole lot better than coffee." And he said, "How do you do that?" And I said,
Plasma water.
"Water." And something tells me that he was able to put 2 and 2 together and decide, maybe I'll try this. Because before I knew it, I was being told, don't teach it to the children. And the funny thing is, I didn't discuss it with them. I knew I couldn't. But you don't have to teach it to them. They're watching what you do. They'll fall into the washroom. They'll wonder, what's he doing? What's he drinking? So I love the fact that you can teach it to them, not explicitly. Of course, I couldn't explicitly bring it up. I knew I couldn't do that, but.
You got to know your audience. You got to know your audience. When I started putting out my books on the subject, I was doing foot massage and reflexology at the Unity Church in Boulder. Well, word got out to the minister and the board of directors that I was bringing this topic out into the community, and they shut me down. They said, "No, you can't have this talk anymore." I said, "No problem, I won't." And then the next day, they asked me to stop being a practitioner at the church.
Yeah.
But what really got to me is the guy who sent me the email was the minister who I had been a friend of for 25 years.
Wow.
He never said anything apologetic. He never said anything emotional or acknowledging our friendship. So I know he was put up to it. He was controlled to say that kind of stuff. And I stopped going to that church. I'm going, I can't be myself or forget it.
Wow, brother. Wow.
I mean, it's overriding free speech is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think the cultural dynamics that are in church, where it's just like, I mean, are elsewhere as well, even in quote secular life, where people have this just very thorough, exacting, non-emotional block. It is emotional though, and it is not rational, but it just comes off kind of robotic, like where it's just, well,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Kind of reminds me when I call Amazon and they put me to customer service and you try to interrupt their script and they have a meltdown because they can only know what they're told to say. So they're following the script. And I would go, customer service, blah, 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 customer service. And eventually they would snap, they put me through, but I have to repeat it 4 or 5 times to get through them. Alan,
and there's
Alan,
some kind of execution.
I want to acknowledge Alan who joined us just now. If you want to say hi, that's fine. We do want to thank you for coming on board. We are going to come to a close here in a minute or two. Anybody have a last few closing remarks they'd want to share with our viewers? Is everybody okay with this recording going up on my Rumble channel?
Yeah, that's fine. And I mean, notwithstanding what's been said about not being too hasty and rushing into it, I am gonna still say what Brother Sage has said, and I think very rightly so, just drink it.
Just drink it. You can get that on one of our shirts over at the Shivambhu Lifestyle store. We've got Just Drink It. We've got Urine Therapy Does the Body Good. We've got all we're saying is give piss a chance. And we also have Pea Power and some various lovely novelties and equipment. Everything you need at the store is there, whether you need eye cups, nebulizers, vaginal pumps, pea sports, foot soaks. We got it all there inside there. We're going to also bring in some of those buckets for enemas instead of just the silicone bag so that people can get the.
You're saying that's at shivambhu.org?
No, it's shivalifestyle.com.
shivalifestyle.com.
You'll also be able to read the February. I know we got the March issue is up right now. They might have taken down February. And on the back page is our own Chitta Senna performing I'm a Pea Drinking Man.
I am.
You are that man.
Mhm.
All right,
The
guys.
song that made me fall in love for the first time.
When there's love, you cannot deny it or walk away. You might try twice. It'll never work out that way. You've got to stay as close to love as you can because the world has got too much need for more love and they're not finding their way there. So our job is to amp up the love. Our job is to enter each conversation and each situation, letting love lead the way. So the ego and all that other stuff doesn't interfere or write a story about this raw experience we're having.
Nice.
So let's have a hug. I'm out of here.
Love you guys.
Yeah,
Beautiful
too.
city girl energy I'm feeling. I'm feeling very motivated right now.
yeah.
You are. Reach out to each other anytime. Reach out to me anytime, and we'll just
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah.
Hello?
Good to see you again, Daniel.
All right, see you later.
guys.
Yeah, I love y'all.
Love you too, man.
Aloha.